Now, here's a lady, true powerhouse, Saskia Riley, all the way from Cape Town. Her passion is assisting celebrities, entrepreneurs, influencers to take their brand and social media to the whole new level. So that's what she does. That's what she's passionate about. But also, lady with a powerful story of also starting with nothing. And how do you manage from nothing to find your true passion and essentially help other great people to become even greater? So, a powerful story of one lady's journey and the true story of taking your brand to the whole new level. Such an honor and privilege to have her with us here today, Saskia Riley.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. I really hope you can hear me clearly. It is stormy, absolutely stormy where I am. So please let me know. Can everyone hear me clearly?
Loud and clear, all yours.
Awesome. Fantastic. What a fantastic time it is to be with everyone today. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Milan, for such a beautiful introduction. I'm very happy to hear that about myself and what I've been through. It's like, it's a lot of introspection that happens when the bio gets read. So, and also, firstly, thank you for this platform because we can learn how we could build our speaking business to 7+ figures. That's incredible. So, like Milan said, I've been in the entertainment industry for over 25 years as a child performer, and now I'm a brand strategist and work with individuals and businesses that serve a humanity plus mission, most importantly. I'm the founder of Huckleberry Media, a personal brand and SMME development agency, including an intuitive life coach, and helped many on their journey of healing and personal development. So let's do the work. Are you ready to do the work right now? Let's get into it. So, in today's discussion, I'd love to bring an awareness to connecting with your soul driven success, which requires building your brand with a heart centered approach. So, the question and the first question I have for you is, who are you without your titles? So, you need to take a moment with that question to ask who you are without your titles. So, type in the question if you have this your unique answer already, or you could just write it down and save it for later. And I'll take you through the steps and we'll go through that. But it's important and it's really, really important to connect with who we are on a soul level to discover what we need to be in alignment with, which in turn can create that greater impact on what you'll be offering to your audience as a coach, as a speaker, as an entrepreneur, etc. So it's very important to do that, right? So let's go a little bit into defining that soul level connection. What does it mean? So, in our conversation, I'd like to leave you with the tools and tips to unmask all your titles by connecting with your soul's blueprint, your soul's blueprint. Let me say that again. So, if you can write that down as well, which is soul's blueprint, it's important to note so that you can build a brand that's in alignment with your values and a brand that has that soul level connection, because that's what we're working on right now is that what is that soul driven success and using that heart centered approach to personal branding. So, like I said, if you'd like to build your business to 7+ figures, it all starts with you, all you, right? Once you know who you are and your soul's blueprint, only then we'll be able to understand and add value to others by knowing your value first. But value in itself comes with an understanding of self and the role you play energetically. So we're going to have that energetic conversation. If this makes sense to you, please type yes. I don't want to lose you. I want to know that we're on the same track. And I'm sure you've heard around. Let's just go into what we're looking at in the industry right now. I'm sure you heard the word authentic branding or authenticity. What does that mean, right? I would say, as I stand right here, the word of the future is authenticity. No one wants to support a brand that they cannot connect with. And this is why connecting with yourself first can lead to you giving to others what you know you have. I'm sure you've heard the saying around saying that you cannot give what you do not have. This step allows you to give what you have internally from a soul perspective, from that soul blueprint, uncovering that and unmasking that. I'll give you a few steps. So let's get into how you could create that soul level connection to what it is that you're offering, your service, right? As a personal brand, as a business. What is that? The first step, we discussed it in the beginning, is that you'll connect with who you are without your titles, which you should have written down obviously in the beginning. And I'll go deeper into that in saying that you're not a mom, you're not a doctor, you're not a daughter, you're not an entrepreneur, etc. Let's go a bit deeper than that. How about being a communicator, a networker, a healer? And I'll give you a bit of an example. Like myself, I'm a nurturer, and I also serve as a communicator or a channel between heaven and earth, as an intuitive. So, who are you? Once you find that description, you can take on the next step, which is discover which skills come naturally to you without any effort or degree. Let me just say that, without any effort or degree, what comes naturally to you? What skills come naturally to you? This is not something that you desire or you need to study for. So it's what naturally is within you already. This is what your natural abilities are. Are you good at making things with your hands? Are you good at using your voice, which is what we're here to do, right? Is to use our voice. Or are you good at solving problems, which is so needed? So you may have to also take a moment with connecting with your childhood to realign with what you're naturally good at or what you enjoyed. So take that moment. And if you don't know what that is right now, that's also okay. That is completely okay. Take that time. Spend at least 5 to 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day or a week. You decide on a period of 6 months, right? You decide this is your you time, your me time, rather, to find out what your soul's blueprint is and how you can create that soul driven success. So, this point is extremely important. The first two, very, very important. That sets the foundation for everything else. We then go into step three, which is what environment do you need in order for step one and step two to thrive? I'll repeat that. What environment do you need in order for step one and step two to thrive? What needs do you have that would help support who you are with what skills you have? This would help identify your values. So, right in itself, you're then working on your values right there. So let me use my example once again. My soul's blueprint is the nurturer archetype. And my skills are teaching, it's leading, it's guiding, it's building and developing things or others. And in order for me to live out my highest potential, I would need a supportive, a communicative, a transparent, a patient environment to thrive in. So notice how you are then in alignment with your soul's mission. That's creating that soul connection to your purpose beyond anyone's expectations. Firstly, beyond anyone's expectations and what they put on you, and also what you put on yourself and what you need to be in society. This is a you thing. We're going internal before we get external on all what you see on the outside. And I want to leave this with you just before we continue is it's important to note that the world needs you and your unique soul blueprint in order to impact society. So just stick with that for a moment, write that down, make that your mantra is that the world needs you and your unique soul blueprint in order to impact society. See how valuable you are. You are incredibly valuable. And I want that to sit with you. It's heavy, but let's make it light into doing something about it, right? And this is why we're here today is to and to create actionable steps to make that happen. And something that I do is that there is a simple meditation that you could do by grounding your energy and having a higher self conversation. And that's what I call it. is that it's a higher self conversation to find these answers, as you'll need stillness to truly connect with who you are. Take that moment, like I said, dedicate that time, put it in your non negotiable list, you know. We then go into now, how does all we just discussed translate into a brand? By then, following all the steps, step 1 to 3, you would have already done half the job, which is the important part, the foundation. So let's use my example again, which is my soul blueprint, being the nurturer archetype. And my skills, like I said, was teaching, leading, guiding, building, and developing things or others. And as we discussed, in order for me to live up my highest potential, I would need a supportive, communicative, transparent, and patient environment to thrive in. We get to step 4, which is the brand development step. And I'm sure you're so interested in this one. But it goes into the questions I have is, what experiences do you have personally and professionally? What challenges have you overcome that you can share with others? Connect with that. And this is where we were using my example, and this is where I'd answer in saying, personally, I've navigated through an identity and self-worth crisis due to rejections I faced from my father. And how personally I like to navigate those challenges is through talking it out with myself or whoever I need to communicate with, if they're there, of course, right? But I communicate. So if you can remember, 2 of my values are communication and transparency. So now we're going to put this all together, and this in itself is your personal brand, or is your brand, your heart-centered approach to brand building. So I'm going to quickly define this. You would need to develop all the layers, like the brand messaging, which is based on your values, then adding your title or your brand name, your audience, and so forth. For example, my brand name is Healing Through Conversation. And I know I mentioned that before, the point before this, which is Healing Through Conversation with Saskia. Communication is coming in there. And other examples that I'd love for you to think of and ponder on, and use this as an example, another example to how you could build your personal brand, which is one that comes to mind is John Maxwell. Check out his story. We have Kevin Hart, which shows great alignment and emphasis on his surname, Hart. He has a production company, which is Heartbeat Productions. He has a fast food company, and it's vegan, and it's Heart House. And then another one is a product brand that I personally love, which is Faithful to Nature, that only sells natural and organically sourced products. So see yourself as that, brand yourself as that. And just as we close, I want to recap with the steps once again. And you can check your notes if you have this, right? Which is step 1, connect with who you are without the titles. Step 2 was redefining your skill sets. Step 3 was, what environment do you need to thrive in? Step 4, we looked at, what experience do you have personally and professionally? And step 5, we then formulated all the steps into messaging, the titles, the brand name, including all assets needed for your brand identity. And in closing, I'd love to offer you, and I think this is an exclusive, rather not I think, but this is an exclusive offer to everyone that's here today, to millionaire speakers, all of you wanting to build your brand. I'd like to offer 1 hour introductory strategy session with myself and the team. And you can connect with the Millionaire Speakers team. I'm sure they'll add some links for you, but let's take a moment. I want to help you. I want to set you up for success. I want to be with you in this process of creating that foundation so that you can build that soul driven success and use the heart centered approach to brand building. I hope this leaves you with so much success for the future, and we'll talk. I'm sure we'll be in touch. Thank you so much.